Okay, we're live. Hello, everyone. Uh, 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 This stream is about a serious issue that is not just happening with me, but several other people in recent times. Mainly the fact of how hard it is to be an indie horror fan, and I have someone here with me that feels the same. Would you like to say hello?
Hey, I am the Funtime Blush. You might know me as the reviewer and that one guy, but I'm not gonna go into detail.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Sorry, I hope I didn't make it awkward.
You didn't make it awkward. Anyways, yeah. Now, Thunderpush, before I start my opinion, what are your thoughts on like the difficulties of being an indie horror fan these days? Like, discuss your input.
Like before the whole drama was for the pair with example, I didn't really play with not play with, but I didn't really like I haven't played those indie games in a while, but I have played them before in the past because my computers that I have can't really handle sorry for being off topic, but can't really handle
Can you speak up a bit?
runtime and stuff. Okay, sorry for being super off topic. Sorry.
No. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. Can you say that again? Because I couldn't hear you.
So my computer,
Your mic's glitching out a bit.
but I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna try muting myself and I'm gonna unmute. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Okay, is it working now? Let's see if it works now. Okay, speak.
Is it working? Sorry.
Okay, I think
Working
it.
now.
Yeah, I think so now. Okay, now.
So, oh, sorry. You can go.
No, you.
Okay. So, as an indie horror game fan myself, it's been kind of hard to be in these franchises, like Five Nights at Freddy's, for example, because what happened in Scott Coffin in 2020, all because of simple opinion. Everyone does it in the average day, so I don't see why people get mad over that.
Yeah. And also, people in recent times even brought up the fact that Scott almost made NFTs, but little did he know. But here's the thing: people forget to know that once the fans discussed about it, Scott immediately canceled that.
Exactly. Yes.
And same goes with last year. Like before, like Scott, quote unquote, retired. There was this drama going around that he was donating money to people that were anti-LGBTQ. But here's the thing: Scott himself didn't know they were anti-LGBTQ, and I still feel really bad for Scott that he went through that.
Yeah, and yeah, and yeah, it was bad, honestly. I wasn't on Twitter for that. I deleted my Twitter directly after that.
Yeah, I just and my sister told me about it. Oh, did you know that Scott Cawthon did all this was supporting anti-LGBTQ? And I was like, and I told my sister, no, he didn't know they were anti-LGBTQ. Whatever, you're supporting someone that's anti-LGBTQ, and I'm like, oh come on, no, that's not true. And And when Scott did that post on ScottGames.com saying he was retiring, I made a video from my heart saying thank you because he
That
that
was a really good guy. Sorry,
no, you say it. What do you say? Go ahead.
a really good guy. I mean, is a really good guy. He supports his fans. He hangs out with his fans. So like, I don't see why people like should get mad over him over that. Like, people make mistakes. It's a common thing nowadays. Like, everyone makes mistakes.
And another one that not just me, but two of my other friends have trouble with, and this is a Final Fantasy Freddy's fan game, and people still get mad over it just because of what the creator did, and that's One Night at Flumpty's. And look, we get what the creator did, but is it so wrong to like a game? Like, is it though? Like, is it really that wrong to like a game?
No, like you told me, the art is different from the artist. Like, there's been memes about it too, like how the art is separate from the artist, like they're polar opposites.
Yes. And from some cases, the entire game gets hated on just because of one person that made the game, that worked on the game. But John O'Corn was the only person that worked on One Night Fun but there's other games that apply that and have other people that worked on it that weren't even involved with the drama in the first place. One of the most recent examples is with one of the most recently popular indie horror games, Poppy Playtime. And I hate the fact that that people hate the game so much is because of what the creator did, and not and saying and some people actually pirated the game and pirated Chapter 2 just because they didn't want to support the creator. But here's the thing: loads of other people besides Enchanted Mob himself worked on Poppy Playtime. Like seriously,
Yes, like even on their Instagram and Twitter. Sorry, they have like groups of they have their like photos of people that work alongside them, and it's a big group that worked on Poppy's Playtime.
yeah, and I just and and I like Poppy Playtime itself because the game itself is made by indie horror fans like us. That's the one thing I loved about Poppy Playtime. It was because it was an indie horror game made by indie horror fans. Because the creators themselves loved Bendy and Five Nights at Freddy's so much. And some people say that they full on copied Bendy because of a similar premise. And I know about the whole Ecker Coaster situation, and yes, the games do in fact look similar, but they're not blatant. It's not a blatant copy. Like
I
it's.
agree. Sorry.
You go ahead. Say what your thoughts.
Okay. Like, it's okay to take inspiration. Like, it's not a carbon copy unless you pirate it and re-upload it somewhere. That's a copy, I'd say.
Or if you take the same models and same stuff and just do a texture swap, that's doing a copy. Bendy, Bendy is. Most people don't really know about the Bendy drama, but the few people that do actually know what the creators did, like me. and the few people that, and I'm glad that Bendy isn't as affected uh, of drama that the creators did, like some other indie horror games, but it's still sad that that's the case. That some people actually hate it because of that, of one person working on the team.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that happened, honestly. Like, I was a huge fan of Bendy up until, like, 2018, 2019. I have to get the game again. I only made it to chapter 2. You get a little fetch
Chapter 3 is a bitch.
questy.
Chapter 3 is a bitch. I hate chapter.
Yeah, I heard it. Sorry.
Yeah, I played it myself on the Switch, and dear God, chapter 3 was tedious as fuck.
It seemed like YouTubers like Dawko and Markiplier play. Yeah, they had struggled playing chapter 3. It was a really hard time for them.
Indeed. And now let's talk about an indie horror game that recently got really, really big drama. And I hate that this happened to, and because this is one of my absolute favorite indie horror games, Dark Deception.
Damn, I didn't hear about this drama, honestly. I did not hear about this. Sorry.
Well, it involves this guy called IHS Games. He loved Dark Deception for a long time, but Vince blocked him on all the Glowstick Entertainment's Twitters because IHS Games was proving some points, mainly involving Monsters Immortals, because Monsters Immortals is a multiplayer game, and it hasn't had an update since January this year. And the game has been dead as a result of it, and it's been harder for people to play it these days because there's hardly anyone online. One of my friends, Georgia Lucky, is an example of that. And Vince himself said that IHS Games was being toxic, even though he wasn't. And people are starting to hate Dark Deception because of that, and told me, and I told him, hey, you shouldn't hate it because of what Vince did. Vince isn't the only person that worked on the game. And Vince is probably not in a good mind state right now. And I just hate the fact how hard it is to be a fan of these franchises, like, because the constant drama and the constant hatred and the fact that people say, hey, do not add this to your game, hey, do not add this, just because of, like, what the creators of that game did. Like, don't you just hate that?
Yes. Like, it's really annoying, honestly, to, like, be a fan of a game and, like, people hate you for being a fan of a game.
and one of them that both me and Funtime Plush can agree on is a certain Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. And please do not give us hate for saying this. The problem, the one Five Nights at Freddy's fan game that we have a hard time being that we get criticized for being fans of is Dormitibus. And look, we know what the creator did. We know he supported Nazis. We know what he fucking did. But that doesn't mean we can't like the game. We can separate art from the artist. Don't you agree?
Yes, I agree. The art is not, sorry, the art is not the artist. Like Page and compared to me, like I have a shitty attitude, and I have customs that look good. Honestly, like I'm working on myself to this day, but I'm slowly getting better.
Yeah. Like, seriously, like, I miss the old days. Like, what happened to the old days of, like, it was fun to just, like in a game. But nowadays, it's just, oh, always, if there's a bad thing that happens, we have to cover it like all get out. We have to cover it, and everyone has to cover the bad shit. Everyone has to cover the bad shit, and then they get thousands upon thousands of fucking views for it, and basically ruining experiences for people like us when we just want to have fun liking a game, but we can't because of what people do. And look, we get in some cases it can be a job to quote unquote say that stuff. But do you really have to say the bad stuff though? Like, can't you just keep it to yourselves? Do you really need to publicly say what they've done just to get more people to know? Even though it ruins people like us that just love indie horror. And it's hard to find an indie horror game these days that has little to no drama. That's mostly the reason why I've been playing a lot of Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion on my channel. Because that indie horror game has little to no drama. Actually, zero drama at all.
I heard about that game. It looks like a fun game, honestly. Like it looks really fun.
Indeed, it is.
And I saw Super Horror Bros history video on it. That was a pretty good video, honestly. Sorry for being off topic.
Yeah, and I love the game so much. It is a lot of fun, especially the game's endless mode. The endless mode is so fun and chaotic. And I love the fact that there's a literal FNAF reference monster in endless mode called Otto the Otter. And I asked the creator himself why he made Otto, and you won't believe what he said. He said he made Otto to make fun of Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. And that to me is so funny. And Otto the Otter himself is just a funny guy in the game. Each time I encounter him, I laugh so hard because it's the Otter Boy. I just call him Otter Boy.
I haven't seen him in like the game yet. I don't think, or it's been a year or two since I've seen the video. But I like how these creators are making like FNAF references. Like in Security Breach, for example, they have the T Jock reference to Joy of Creation, which is really cool, honestly.
Yeah, like I'm surprised of how similar Burn Trap looks to Ignited Springtrap. Like it's like very shocking how similar they look. It's probably the fact that they both made an Unreal Engine. Anyway, and some other indie horror games that like playing that don't really have that much drama are like Zardy's Maze. Most people know about Zardy's Maze because that FNF mod, but I actually knew about Zardy's Maze before the mod came out because I followed the creator Swanky Box a lot on YouTube.
I watch him too. Like his Mario videos, like what are but the H Valley Sky Trees. I don't want to say the full word just in case.
Yeah, yeah, I
By
know.
going into Mario's files, like not Mario's files, it's Super Mario Galaxy's
Yeah,
files,
yeah,
and seeing the
yeah,
textures and stuff. That is super cool in my opinion.
yeah. And Zardy's Maze itself is a really good indie horror game and a really challenging one as well. And the mods songs, uh, uh, mm, mm, like seriously, Foolhardy and Bushwhack are slappers. They hit so hard.
Seen gameplay of the game, but I do follow the creator. But I'm gonna probably check it out after this video and after
Well, the game is free.
I make some videos. Sorry for a shameless plug. Sorry about that. Ooh, nice.
So is the original version of Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, but the version I prefer to play is HD Renovation because it has better the gameplay in HD Renovation feels more polished and it has more stuff than the classic version. I really like Spookies a lot, and Zardy's Maze. It is, yeah. But yeah, in general, most big indie horror games, the really big ones, are really hard for people like us to be fans of because there's constantly drama brought up about them. Like, like it's really hard to be a fan these days. Why can't people learn to separate art from the artist?
To go in 2 minutes.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is I agree with Jack. Like he is like he like personally it is kind of hard. Well, it is pretty difficult to like being fans of FNAF and other indie games and other indie fan games surrounds them and stuff. But like we should all separate the art from the artist and not like collide them together and just to say like we're one full thing. even though the developer worked on it, like, still, like, they don't it's a group of people or groups of people that make it, not just one person most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. And I hope lots of people see this because people need to understand how people like us feel about these things. Because it really is hard for people like us.
Agree, and it hurts the fan bases too.
Indeed. Like, in recent times, one of the Final Freddy's fan games I was the most excited for, Final Sonic's Make Me Infinite, got canceled because of drama. And a lot of the team members of that game left because of drama. Because the person working on it, Smiler Christopher, had dealt with several drama in the past, and he didn't know what to do. And Smiler himself is like you and me. I'm pretty sure he has autism, and he confirmed it. Yeah, he does have autism. He confirmed it. And he's an adult like you and me. And I've been a fan of Final Sonic since the first game, and Final Sonic was the very first Final Freddy's fan game I ever played, and it means a lot to me. I'm still sad that of what's happening with the series right now. For you, what is like your first FNAF fan game?
Five Nights at Candy's 2 or Five Nights at Candy's 1, the originals.
Ah, those are some good ones as well, and I hope I get the Candy plush soon, and the Pop Goes plush, and the Blake plush because I really want to get those plushies.
I think they might be still on the GameStop website, but don't quote me on it.
And I saw the fact that you have the Blake plushie, which I'm kind of jealous of.
Sorry.
You don't need to be sorry about a plushie. It's just a plushie.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good talking to you about this because
Thanks for having me on. Sorry.
and it's glad that I talked about this because we had to talk about this because this is a serious issue that people like us have when it comes to indie horror games these days. Like, it is extremely, extremely hard to like them and be a fan of them because of stuff like this. And Fun Plush, if you do, maybe by chance, probably make a follow up video to this stream, like sometime like tomorrow or another day, so people can hear it on your channel as well. So people can, but tell people to watch this stream first before they look at your video, if you do make one.
I might make one, but I'm not really good at commentary at the moment. But like, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, it was it was good having you, man.
Thank you for having me on.
I hope you guys understand after watching this that about what it's like to be an indie horror fan.